Okay, Mom.
Okay, so
What's up?
we're gonna get right into the episode because a few weeks ago we put a question out into the metaverse. Okay, the question was, what's your worst experience with desi aunties / uncles? Because the unks don't hold back. Let's be real. Talking shit. Let it out, people. Let's see what people said. Now, actually, wait. You didn't read the responses. When I say people were honest, okay?
Also,
So, yes.
that's a juicy question.
Juicy Lucy, girl. Juice. It's not.
Bring it on.
It's juicy. Juicy.
It's with a capital J.
There were some people that responded, and then there were some people that were like, wait, I don't have enough text in those bubbles, so I'm gonna send you my PhD essay on DM. And you know what? I appreciate the details. So let's get started.
Let's get into it.
But wait, before I get started into that, I do want to say, do you have bad experiences with desi aunties as well? Or are you the unicorn that has never had a bad experience?
There is no unicorn in this metaverse.
Factual. Okay. It's true. Okay. So we're going to talk about what desi aunties do and how they ruin our lives. Let's just get into it. And sometimes it's not even desi aunties. It's just people in general. Okay. So the first one. Aunties telling my mom to take me to the doctors since I had been married 5 years without kids. In brackets, this was by choice. They didn't have kids by choice. But somebody told her that they need to take her to the doc because she was having an issue because she didn't have kids. Sister,
What's wrong with your eggs?
let me go check your eggs. Open wide, let me check.
Let me check right now in the middle of this little giant date right now.
Why are they so invested in our reproductive system? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know.
They need to know.
It's too much. Okay. Another one. Oh my God. Assuming I got pregnant, which is why I got married at 20. LOL. Not true. Not true. Wow.
Beta kafi healthy lag rahi.
You know what? I feel like a lot of these are based off of like this type of thing, which makes me really sad because I actually have a story to share. I'm going to get into it. Okay. But before I do, you add what you're going to say.
I was just gonna say, FYI, if we do make jokes, we're not attacking anybody personally.
Hell no.
We're just making light of the situation. Also, we'd love to laugh if you haven't figured that out.
Yeah.
So, let's go.
And believe me, we're on your side because we don't like the auntie drama, the toxic snake aunties. Okay. Okay. So then we have every single gathering, one of the elders will say something to make you uncomfortable. Facts, girl. What is the deal?
Also, why do they have to be the wise one all the time?
Shut the hell up. We need to say these things more often. But the truth is we can't because we don't have the guts. So we just say it on here. Okay. Oh God, where do I begin? At the beginning. Start at the beginning. We got you.
Tell us everything.
Oh, this is a good one too. My divorce seemed to be everyone else's business. Girl, that's rough. And honestly, it actually is like that though, right?
Yep.
Where it's like any small thing that happens needs to be everyone's business. Everyone needs to talk about it. Everyone needs to know what happened. Everybody needs to know the inside details. Like sometimes you're just at a point where you're like why? Why do you need to know? And why can't you just mind your own business? Like, why is it your concern? You know what I mean? But you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, so next one. My uncle said I didn't give my kids traditional names because I don't want people to know they're Muslims. My kid's last name is Ahmad. Okay, honestly, if you're saying that about your uncle not liking your kids' names, imagine what your uncle would say about my daughter's name, Emma. Game over.
Game over.
Uncle is just too much.
This uncle is like, your beta needs to be Shahabuddin.
Oh my God, I can't. I cannot deal. Okay. You know, this actually happened to when I named my daughter Emma, and everyone's like, "What does Emma? What's the meaning of Emma?" And I'm just like, "It just means complete." Like, I'm sorry. I don't know what you guys want me to tell you. Like, I'm sorry. I just have like some really deep meaning. You know, I don't know. Okay, so okay, when I was doing rap battles, someone snitched, so I quit right as I was getting good. What is the deal with aunties and uncles ruining lives like this? Imagine this person could have been Eminem #2. You never know.
Guys,
You never
I'm actually really disheartened about
That
this.
makes me really sad because I feel like they crush dreams. They crush dreams, okay?
I apologize for you going through that.
Oh,
Sucks.
another one, okay, related to this. So this person was like, I guess, doing boxing and stuff. And they said, one of my fight videos going viral, not because it was a good fight, but because of shit talking. I would say to this, I would say get them in the ring with you. Straight up. Ding ding. Let's go.
But also props to these Desi aunties for getting that shit to go viral.
But props for people like getting into the ring.
Yeah, damn.
And fighting.
That's
Yes,
amazing.
yes. Get that done. Okay, so another one. Why is her younger sister married, not her? Something is wrong with her. That happens a lot.
That happens.
I've heard that a lot.
I've
heard that a lot.
Yeah, we'll get into that one.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna park that one. We're gonna come back.
We're parking that one. Okay. Oh, she's so old. She'll never get married. Why is her younger sister married? Another one. Why is her younger sister married and not her? I just find that really odd because I'm like, at the end of the day, like, if somebody finds somebody that they vibe with and they want to marry them, then they found that person. Why does it have to be like you're younger or you're older and you need to go first? Like, it is what it is. How do you know who you're gonna find that you vibe with? You know what I mean? It's freaking whack. Okay. Oh, okay. Wait. When is she going to get married and find someone fast? Otherwise, she'll be in the leftovers. This one is a big one. This one is a big one.
This is a big one.
Everybody does this. Like, all the aunties are.
Yep.
For some reason, it's like, you know, sometimes I hate to say it because I know in God's eyes, everyone is beautiful, right? But like these aunties that say this stuff, sometimes you're like, are you really kidding me right now? Like, have you looked at your child? Like, is this person like, you know what I mean? And then sometimes you hear these stories about their kids and you're just like, so you're saying all this stuff about other people's kids, but like, do you know what your kids are doing?
Facts.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm gonna stop this for a second because I gotta share. Okay, like
Share.
growing up. Okay, I went to like a school where there was like, and for the ones that know that, y'all know. Okay, there's like predominantly like brown people. Okay. And I remember there was this like certain number of people, like these aunties, that would always have an eye out, okay? Whatever you're doing. It could be that you're walking home and talking to someone about homework, but it's not homework because this person is a boy, okay? So immediately it's like you're up to no good. And they would snitch so hard on you. But then honestly, like, you know what their kid is up to because you're in the same school as them.
100%.
And sometimes you're just like, I don't understand 1 + 1. Like, I'm so confused right now because I know you don't think that your child is an angel. I know you don't think that. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Okay. One auntie said, my face was always in the fridge and I kept eating their food. I was a guest. I could never. I could never.
She said that to your
I could never.
face?
No, that's mean. That's mean. That's so mean. You know, someone comes to my house, it's like the fridge is yours. You know how I do at your house? I just open cupboards. That's how I want it to be at my house. That's mean. That's mean. That's some mean stuff. Okay. Another one. The rules apply to the and not to me mentality, double standards, and it's always girls equals problems. Facts. It's true. It's true. Girls, honestly, that is the truth because the amount of times you hear aunties saying things about boys versus the amount of times you hear aunties saying things about girls.
Yeah.
It's always the girl. It's always the girl. No matter how bad their boy is, it's always the girl.
Also, the whole boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. Yeah.
वो तो करते हैं. That's what they're supposed to do.
I can't deal with that. That really triggers me. Hopefully our sons will be better than that and we will instill better values in them. Okay, oh, this is a good one. Auntie saw me in public with my husband and snitched to my mom. She didn't know I was married. Girl, bye. You see,
I
have no words.
You see a girl with a man, she's married, it's all good, and you're gonna go snitch to her mom?
Be like, I saw your daughter with a boy, and her mom's probably like, that's her husband. How stupid do you feel at that point?
Honestly, you would feel like an idiot.
Like, just like cover your head and walk away.
No, but you know what? These aunties are so evil. They'd be like, "Oh, maybe you should check. Is that her
Oh,
husband?"
stop. Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Because that's what these aunties do. This is where they start stirring the pot.
Yeah. I could see that happening.
Yeah, I would totally see that happen.
And then they're gonna go to their kitty parties and like be like, oh, like,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Because they're not going to admit that they were wrong
Hell
for thinking that
no.
way.
Hell
So what are they going to do? They're going to throw it back
Oh
on
my
you.
god. Oh my goodness.
Evil.
Okay, another one. I had an uncle put his hand next to mine to compare our skin's color, and he did it every time.
An uncle? Yuck. Listen to me. That whole uncle is an ick.
That's the biggest ick ever.
The entire existence
Icky.
of this uncle is an ick.
Goodbye, uncle. Goodbye. Just
How hairy was his arm?
Okay. Oh my god, this one's mean. An auntie once told me I'll never get married because I'm too fat. Do people really say this? Like, how do they say this in Urdu?
Honestly,
Like, for
It's
real?
happened to me.
Stop.
it happened to me.
What in the name of God?
They just said, they were like, beta, aap agar weight lose nahi karoge, to aapki shaadi nahi hogi.
Oh my god.
You're sitting there as a child and you're like, A, you're trying to process what somebody's saying to you. And B,
That is so mean. That's so mean.
yeah, not only are you trying to process it, you can't talk back to these aunties.
I know you can't, and that's the hard part because it's like, even if you did talk back, our moms would be like, come on, you didn't have to say, kill them with kindness. Just keep your mouth closed if you don't have anything nice to say. But then it's like, why didn't they keep their mouth closed? Because they have nothing nice to say ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or your mom's gonna turn around and be like, I mean, there's
Yeah.
some truth to that. And then,
Why they gotta do that to us, yo?
because sometimes your mom's got your back and sometimes your mom don't got
Yeah,
your back.
that's so true. I just want her to have my back all the time, okay? Even if I was 400 pounds, I want her to tell me that I'm skinny. Okay? Tell me I'm skinny because your job is to support me, okay? Gosh. Okay, didn't have a baby right after marriage, and some auntie asked if I was infertile. I was 24. That is so messed up. Okay?
I got a story to share.
Yo, I got a story to share. Okay, you tell your story.
Okay, so my husband and I, we went for Umrah.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, it's like a Muslim pilgrimage that you go to. You go
Yeah.
to Saudi Arabia, and it's a whole thing. And we went with a group.
Yeah.
Right. So we went, and we had been married for 3-ish years at that time when we had
Yeah.
planned the trip, and we decided to go. And I remember it was March break. We were really excited.
Yeah.
Because we had some plans, and we wanted to check some things off before we just decided to have kids.
Totally.
And so we go on this trip, but we went with a group. And guys, the group was the desiest Pakistani Pendu people you will ever meet in your life. And when I tell you, we sat on this bus and we looked around and we were like, where are all the normal people?
Oh my gosh.
Because they were so Pendu.
Oh my
Okay?
gosh.
So we're driving there, and then we started, the leader in our group was teaching us, maybe you can pray here, and we're gonna
Yeah.
be doing this, and like this is a nice way to make dua, and all these things. He's giving us all these tips, right? And obviously when you're reading namaz and when you're praying and you're Muslim,
Yeah.
women are separate and men are separate.
Yeah. Segregated, yeah.
And so I would be with the ladies and Farhan would be with the men.
Yeah.
All of the ladies would so we would stand in a row and we're praying. And then at the end, they would look over and we'd be like, oh, we understand why you're on this Umrah trip. And I was like,
What?
what? And I was so confused at first. I had no idea. So I was quiet at first. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, yeah, we wanted to do it. We planned. And I'm out here
Yeah.
trying to think maybe they're trying to connect with me. So I'm like, yeah, we had this plan. We saved up. We wanted to do all these things. And she goes, don't worry, beta. Allah will give you that baby that you want. Can I tell you? My husband and I weren't even trying. We weren't even trying. Baby was not even in our plan.
Oh my god.
And they literally looked at me and they were like, we will make dua for you.
Girl, I cannot.
You know how they say it in like Urdu and Hindi? Jholi bhar jayegi. This is the kind of Pendu people I went to Umrah with, okay? Jholi bhar jayegi? Who says that? What kind of hum saath saath hai movie reference is this? No, thank you.
Stop.
Bye. Bye.
I can't believe you had that experience, girl. I have it's actually a funny story. So like, again, like I waited, okay, there was no issue, but even if there wasn't, I waited because I was like, I'm not ready to have a kid. I went to an event and this woman comes up to me and she's like, congratulations, I'm so happy for you. And I'm just like, I swear to God, in my mind, because like sometimes people think me and my sister are the same person.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, they're talking about my sister, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. Like, I'm not gonna correct her. I don't have the energy. I don't want to correct her. So I'm like, oh, thank you, whatever, right? And she's like, I'm so happy for you. And I'm just like, what the hell's going on in my sister's life? Like, I'm telling myself, like, what's going on in her life, going back, tracking in my mind, like, what's going on.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you know, like, I was praying so hard for you to like have a baby. And like, I know you were having issues. And I'm just like, oh, I'm not even pregnant. I'm not even pregnant. Okay. And then I'm looking at her and I'm just like, okay. I'm like, Auntie, I think you're the wrong person. Okay. And so she's like confused. She's like an older lady. Girl,
Okay.
the same day, somebody else comes up to me and says the same thing. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Okay. And then after that, another person.
No.
Swear to God, I was at a religious event. I swear to God, I'm not lying to you. Okay. 3 people. Then the last lady comes up to me and she says, you know, I heard that you are really struggling and I've been praying for you for so many years. And I'm just like, what in the name of the Lord? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm not pregnant. I'm not pregnant.
Yeah.
I think it was because I had waited so long, but I'm like, it's not your concern. Like, are you serious? It was the wildest experience. And they congratulated my mom. My mom comes up to me and she's like, is there something you want to help me? And I'm like, Mama, I would tell you right away. Like, are you kidding me? You would not be the last person to know. You'd be the first person to know. And we're dying. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, where does this come from?
I don't know.
What right do they have to like do this stuff? It's so whack. It's so weird.
Or the craziest thing is, you know, after you get married, sometimes you can gain a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you have like
That's
food
like push
freedom.
uppity. Woo.
And they'll be like, oh, badi achhi lag rahi ho. Bada glow aaya hai.
Healthy.
Oh,
Healthy.
goodness,
You look
guys.
healthy. Okay, so next one is, okay, 6 months post-pregnancy at a funeral, and a desi auntie asked why I didn't lose my pregnancy weight. Slap her face, okay? Because, girl, you shouldn't be at a funeral asking those questions. You should be bowing your head and praying for the deceased individual. For shame.
At a funeral?
No shame. I swear
shame.
to God. No,
No
shame.
shame.
Why didn't you lose the pre-pregnancy weight while there's a casket in front of you? Are y'all kidding me? Come on now.
Also, just turn around and be like, Auntie, what's your weight?
Yeah. Oh,
Because we know all these aunties are
I almost
obese.
choked on my own spit there.
Listen, y'all just walk around with that scale and be like, you know what? Let's just hash this out right now. You stand, and then I'll stand, and we'll see who didn't lose any of the weight after babies.
Wow. A moment of silence for their death at that time. Whoa. Whoa.
There'll be 2 prayers at that funeral.
I'm dying. I'm dying. Okay, next. When I was a little girl, I was told to get a nose job because I would never get married. I didn't. LOL, but it ruined my self-esteem.
Oh, stop.
Why are people such a-holes? Like, I don't understand. Why does it bother you? However, my face, nose, body, whatever it is, it's not your concern. Stay out of my business. Put your nose out of my business.
Ooh.
Girl, I can't find it. Okay. Another one. You're too picky with guys. That's why God still has you at your parents' place and you're not married. Let me just say. Let me just say. Okay? The fact that you are picky is probably a good thing because honestly, then you're not going to settle for anything less than, you know, what you deserve. So
How many times have we said this, ladies? Don't
settle. Don't say it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it's the rest of your life. Okay, let's be real.
Also, you're queens. You should be treated.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, making you feel like shit when you have a C-section delivery as if something's wrong with you.
Stop.
Yo.
Exactly what we were talking
Yo,
about.
C-section mamas are on another level. They cut through 6 layers. 6 layers.
I couldn't.
And then the recovery. I say this because I saw my sister go through this. Your sister's gone through it. It's no joke. I don't know why people think it's easy. It's the scariest thing ever. Y'all aren't asleep. You're awake. They're slicing you open and you're awake. It's not easy to go through that.
Also, the healing, the infections. You can't go up and down the stairs.
My sister, because she was at my mom's place when this happened, I was at my mom's. My sister would literally sleep like this, sitting up, like 4 pillows behind her, and like I would go and like hang out with her. She couldn't even laugh because she was in pain. She couldn't even laugh. She couldn't move. And imagine having to take care of a baby while you just had a C-section. Like it's like a major surgery. Y'all need to chill. Come on now. Okay. Some uncle told my dad I hang out with the wrong group of people. They were my boys that I used to hang out with at the mosque. All right then. Well,
What does the uncle know that we don't know?
honestly. Oh my god, people are crazy. Okay. Saw shit on my cousin's phone about me and my family. Eventually stopped speaking to them. It's been 5 years now. And good riddance to them, because you don't need that energy. But I also want to add the cousins, the snake relatives. Why does this happen? I don't understand. Why can't you're Let's just both look like this, because we all know where the stories are starting, honestly.
Also, are we going to talk about the ones back home?
I mean, I don't really have any back home. You do.
Girl?
I don't have any back home. But there's always those select few individuals feel the need to be the D-Lo snakes. Like, why? I don't understand. Honestly, I don't get it. I don't have that energy to like be that way with people. I don't have it. I don't have it. But some people really have it. And I actually think it comes from a place of like jealousy. I really do.
Oh.
There's jealousy, or it's something else, like unhappiness in their lives. That's why people say the things that they say. Fact.
It's definitely jealousy, and it's a lot of insecurities that they project on others.
Yeah, sometimes I think people look at your life and they think like you live this amazing life. I mean, no one knows the ins and outs of anyone's life. And I think for them, maybe because they are not doing the things that they want to do in life, they just want to like make you feel crappy. So they say things about you behind your back. But honestly, at the end of the day, it's their loss, because really it's like, it doesn't affect me. I'm sleeping with a fan on. Let's be real. Okay. Okay, so another one. Oh, someone told this person, don't take the epidural right before giving birth. I mean, I feel like what she's trying to say is that they basically said, like, don't take the epidural right before she was about to give birth, just to make her feel like crap. And we talked about this, right? Which is a really shitty thing to say to somebody, because it's like, you know, a lot of these people, it's like, what I bet when these aunties were going through it, they were probably dying for an epidural, okay? And now, like, when it's available and it's readily available, and like science and technology is so advanced, modern medicine is so advanced, and now they just want some people to just like soldier through it when they actually physically can't, and they don't remember the pain. Like I don't actually remember the exact pain, because once you go through it, you almost forget. You know what I mean? So it's unfair to like project your own views of that on to a new mom who's probably scared out of her mind. You know?
And can I just say something?
Yeah.
C-sections were not invented just for our generation.
Yeah, for sure.
Generation, sorry.
Yeah.
C-sections have been around for years.
For sure.
There are many aunties out there, guys, who have had C-sections.
Yeah, for sure.
Do not take offense to this.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's crazy that they can just come up to you and say to you.
Yeah, I think that you need to just do what you need to do. At the end of the day, like, people are going to say whatever they want to, and believe me, no matter what you do, whether you do what they want you to do or not, they're never going to be happy. So just always do what you feel best about doing. Okay. All right. So another one. I was skinny as a kid, and when I got married, when I was pregnant with my first, my husband was diagnosed. Oh, actually, hold on. This person sent me a DM. I'll read that to you guys.
Okay.
1 second. Let me open it up. Okay. I was always skinny as a kid, and when I got married, when I was pregnant with my first, my husband was diagnosed with cancer. After I had the baby, I still had gained weight due to having a baby and the stress of my husband. I saw this auntie when I was about 3 months postpartum. She's like, oh my God, what happened to you? I didn't even recognize you. You got so fat. And not to throw shade, but this auntie was not fit in any way. Then this same lady, when she found out I was pregnant with my fourth child, said, "Bas bhi kar do ab, kitne bache karogi?" This is so out of pocket mean, honestly. Like, somebody that struggled with, like, not even like, it's like, imagine, you know, like, you get married, you find out your husband has cancer. You're trying to take care of your husband. You're trying to take care of your kids. You're trying to take care of your mental health. And then this auntie just says what she has to say. It's like, this is exactly what I mean when I say you can't ever please anybody. So don't ever care. Just don't care.
You wait to have a kid?
For sure.
There's something wrong with you. You have 2 kids? Oh, you should definitely have a third, because your family's going to feel more.
Yeah.
You have 3, all of a sudden it's like, you're a Canadian mom, and why do you have so many kids? Canadian parents only have 2 kids. You have 4, and it's like, you're getting really busy all the time.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy.
Never please
You can't please anybody. You really can't. It's so out of control. Okay, a couple years into my marriage, an auntie asked why I was walking around empty. This was in reference to my empty womb. She pointed to it.
Oh, stop.
Why are people like that? Why is it your concern? Are you gonna take care of my baby? Are you gonna stay up at night?
You just point to her damag and you say, why is this empty?
Oh, ooh, that was a really good comeback.
Sometimes it works.
I like that.
Sometimes the mom brain isn't sleeping.
I like that one a lot. Okay, so now we have a few DMs. One DM. Okay, one left. Sorry for answering here, but post-marriage, someone was talking to their sister on the phone and we're basically talking about how my husband is whiter than me. And every time I go on vacation, I come back super kali, which means black. And then she proceeded to say how it's time I had kids because Umar Guzri Jadi hai and I won't be able to conceive later, and that today's girls only care about shoving burgers and fries down their throats and don't care about their health or prioritizing having kids. Very traumatizing, especially since it was like 6 months into our marriage, left a sour taste in my mouth. Girl, a sour taste, bitter taste, bitter. That shit's bitter. Bitter. Oh my God. Okay, so I actually responded to this and I was like, you know what? That's a really shitty situation. But like we do have to, like, at some point, you know, when people consistently do this, when they say the things that they have to say, you do at some point have to stand up for yourself. And I know our parents teach us not to, but like you can still respectfully be a savage. You know what I mean? So I said that to her, but she was like, honestly, I was surprised at the backwards thinking more than anything. It's hard to speak up, especially in the beginning of your marriage, given that you're in a new family. And I was like, that's so true. You can't do it, because then it's like you're so but the me's. You have no manners. What did your parents teach you? You know what I mean? So you got to keep your mouth closed. At least it was for me. I didn't want to create fights, but I wish I had said something, because I realized that until you speak up for yourself, people will always step all over you. Now I don't take anyone's BS. My girl. Because my mental and emotional well-being is more important to me. Let's go. Let's hear it for her, because absolutely
you.
Absolutely. So that's like some of the stuff that we got. Okay, that's a lot. Now let me tell you a story. Okay.
Share. Story time.
This is a good one. I went to, when I was younger, like this is like what, 13, 14 years ago. My parents put me in like a camp, like a religious camp.
Okay.
Only me, not my sisters, of course. Okay. So anyway, so they put me in this religious camp. It was like an overnight thing. And while I was there, my uncle, it was like it was like all girls, like a hostel kind of thing.
Okay.
So while I was there, my uncle, it was right beside our mosque. So he actually came by just because he knew I was there. So he came by and like, he knocks on the door. And then he asks like the auntie in charge, and he's like, oh, is like Mariam here, right? So then, yeah, my name is Mariam Hina, just clarifying. Okay, I know it's hella confusing. Okay, so anyway, is Mariam there? And so like the auntie calls me, and he's standing in the front lawn. Okay, so I'm standing in the front lawn of that house with my uncle. Okay, and my uncle's like, oh, I bought you chocolate because I knew you've been here for a few days. And like my uncle is so cool, coolest uncle ever. And he's just talking to me and asking me how things are going. We're laughing and stuff. And then I went back inside and went to sleep. The next morning I wake up, girl. I have an auntie pull me to the side, and she's like, I really need to talk to you. And I'm like, what did I do? I'm like, really like, what the hell did I do? Okay. And she's like, you know, I just want you to be very honest with what I ask you right now, because I've been hearing a lot of things that are really disappointing and embarrassing to you. And I will be talking to your mom about this. And I am like, in my mind, I'm like, what the hell did I do, girl? What did I do? Okay. She's like to me, I have heard reports that you brought a boy to the house yesterday.
Oh.
And I am like, it didn't register. It didn't register, guys. She's like, you brought a boy to the house and you were talking to this person outside. And like, even then, it's not registering, girl. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, no. And I'm young. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in my teens. I'm like, no, I swear I would never, like, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And then I'm also thinking like, y'all really think I have no game? Like I would just be like, come to the front, come hang out with me in the front yard. Come on now. Okay. So I'm like, and then it starts to register and she's like, you know, it was at this time and he knocked on the door and asked specifically for you. And I'm like, stop this. I'm like, you're talking about my uncle, fam. Okay. So I'm like looking at her and I'm like, auntie, like, I think you're mistaken. That's my uncle. Okay. He's like, he's grown. He's like my dad's age. Okay. It's my uncle. It's my uncle. And she's like, you know, I just want you to be very careful with what you say, because, you know, if you're going to lie about it, I'm still talking to your mom. I'm like telling her, I'm like, it's my uncle. I swear to God, it's my uncle. I'll give you the number. It's my uncle. Okay. And so she's like, you know, whatever you say, that's fine. I've heard your side of the story, but we are going to be taking this to the higher ups. Okay.
No.
works, girl. I was honestly at that point, I was getting angry, okay? And I was just like, I've had enough. And so I look at her and I'm like, okay, please take it to the higher ups. Please call my mom. Please call my mom. This is my uncle's number. You can call my uncle too. And I think when I said that, I think it like registered that she's not lying. And I remember that day, I was like, I will never attend something like this ever. And I never did. And never did after that. And I remember calling my uncle up and telling him, and my uncle was laughing so hard. And he's like, I can't believe this is true. I told my mom and I was so mad.
Yeah.
And obviously our mom's response like, it's an honest mistake. It's an honest mistake. And in my mind, I'm like, no. It would have been an honest mistake if you had said, oh, it was your uncle. Sorry about that. That's an honest mistake to me. The fact that you kept on continuing on with the narrative, that's not an honest mistake. That's you trying to like make me into something that is going to make you feel good about like you catching me doing something crazy, whatever it may be. But that's my one story. But I have so many. I can't even, where do I start?
Okay, so if I put myself in your shoes,
Yeah.
I would be shaking.
Girl, I was scared, but I was mad.
I feel like I always get scared before I feel any other emotion.
It was scary for me too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, okay, when it's someone you know that says something to you, it's different. When it's like a random auntie, and that's why I was like backtracking and I'm like, what did I do? Right. And then when she like kept on continuing with it, then I was like, and I have this side to me where it's like, I can be nice and then I'm just gonna flip it and I'm not gonna care anymore.
Good
like
for
I'm
you.
not gonna care. And I feel like it's like, I don't know what it is, and I don't know if any of you guys have felt this, where like sometimes that part of you comes out where you do stand up for yourself, and for some reason you feel guilty about standing up for yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way, or like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have gone in. And so that did happen. But now I reflect and I'm like, why wasn't I more of an a-hole? Like I should have given it right back to her.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But I think these scenarios happen so often. The way that these aunties are so toxic.
So toxic.
They're too toxic. Like it's not normal, you know? Like the things they say, the things they do, how they like destroy you when you're younger, how they project their own beliefs onto you and make it seem like no. If you don't do what I think is best for you, whether they're not even freaking related to you, okay? If you don't do what I think is best for you, then you are gonna be like getting in trouble by your parents or whatever. Do you have any stories like this?
Girl, the stories are endless. But one time, one of my very first jobs was
Yeah.
at this warehouse.
Yeah.
Clearance warehouse. Y'all know where it's
Oh.
like Rexdale.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
If you know.
And I used to just be like the restock person there,
Yeah.
clean up the aisles, restock the aisles, and then a couple of times I would be put on cash. So I was
Yeah.
trained to be on cash and whatever, okay? And I've mentioned this before, but I was like a bigger adolescent, okay? So I want to say I'm like 17, 18 at this point. And I was wearing the uniform and I was like standing on cash and this uncle comes to me. Okay? I don't know who he is. He's never met me. He's literally rolling in with his cart and I'm cashing him out.
Yeah.
Okay? And he just looks at me and then he goes, oh, beta, congratulations. And I was like,
Oh my gosh.
and I'm standing there like, congratulations for what? And he was like, oh, you know, because you're expecting.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine,
can't.
imagine hearing that as a 17-year-old on your like third day of the job.
Oh my gosh. I can't even deal with that. That is so mean.
And I just stood there and I looked at him and I was like, no, I'm not. And I was just such a like shy, timid individual.
I know.
That I just kind of like
Internalized.
and I was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then the way he ran out of the store.
But he learned a lesson that day, Rouge.
I hope so.
Whether he admits it or not, I hope that he did.
I hope that he did too.
It's like, don't say it. Like, if you don't know, don't say it.
Yeah, and just, I don't know, I just feel like, what's the need to say it?
What is the need to say it?
The chest that some of these aunties and uncles have to come to your face and say whatever it is they want to say because they feel like it.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And especially, I'm so sorry, but for the postpartum moms, when you're going through that and somebody comes and just lays that on you,
Oh, girl. Oh.
on that huge pile of everything else that you're dealing with, that's that little cherry on top where the auntie is going to be like, oh, you didn't really lose your weight,
Right?
did you?
Right?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God. Or like, you really need to take care of yourself. It's like, what the hell do you mean?
Right, but when you take time out for yourself and
Yeah.
you leave the baby with somebody else, you're a selfish mom.
100%. There's no winning.
There's no winning.
There's no winning.
There's no
You know
winning.
what I have to say though, like back in the day, I would look at these girls that were like a little older than me and they were like very like like they had like the witty comebacks. Okay, they have the witty comebacks, and then everyone around them is like, oh my god, she's so rude and she's so Batamise. She just says whatever she wants. And these days, I look back and I'm like, respect, respect, because honestly, they were the ones that would say it for what it is, and like they would not take anyone's shit. You know what I mean? And now I feel like we are at the point where it's like, if you want to stop it, you gotta stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if you hurt their feelings, because they have been hurting your feelings. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna stop. And sometimes I think about this whole concept of like kill them with kindness, right? Which is something we all are raised up. Always be the bigger person, turn the other cheek, always. And you do that over and over and over again. But I feel like what happens is that like these same people will continue to do it because they know they can do it. They know that you're not going to say something back. They know that you're going to be the nice person.
Yeah.
And so now I'm just at a point where I'm like, I don't want to be the nice person.
Yeah, good for you.
It's never suited me. It's not my personality. Like I'll be nice, but then once you cross the line, that's it. Like I'm crossing the line too. You go low, I go lower.
I'm getting rid of that bar altogether. Everybody going underground.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not gonna feel guilty after. Even though I am, but I'm not. I'm gonna try not to, because I feel like I have to protect my peace.
Yes.
Okay? If you feel like you can be a loudmouth and say whatever you want, no filter, then honestly, prepare yourself to hear it back. Prepare yourself, because if you think you can do it, then I can do it too.
Yeah. I think
how it is.
a lifelong skill is to unlearn how to not be quiet.
Totally.
Because you know what it is? Yeah, you're right. I look back at all the girls who were able to stand up for themselves when we were younger, and I feel like now they are in a place where they can just like say it as it is.
Yeah.
I find that my struggle now in my 30s is I'm trying to learn how to say something back.
How to set boundaries.
Yeah, but also how to say something back. Like if somebody says something to my face, I don't immediately know what to say.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like taking time to process it, and then sometimes I come home and I'm like, oh, I should have said this.
Everybody thinks that way,
right?
But don't you think it's okay? Because I feel like if you are taking the time to process, then it's not your like you had in like, or there's like muh tor jawab, like right away you respond. If you do take the time to process, you can maybe say a response back that's still said in a respectful way, but it is a little bit of a savage response that they need to hear it. Like, I'm not going to take your shit,
right?
But I'll still say it in a respectful way. You know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I think for me, what would happen is that like I would say it and I would be rude about it, and I wouldn't care.
Right.
I wouldn't care. And so now I'm at the point where I'm just like, I think you can say things in a way, and I'm not very good at this, but I'm learning that. Like, you have to find a way to say things in a way where like that person knows that they can't walk all over you, but you're also not going to feel like crap for being like extremely rude right back to them.
Right.
But some people they need you to, you know, you just need to be rude back.
I get that.
I don't think they understand.
They don't
get it.
You need to like speak to them in their language.
Yeah. And it's sad because it's just like, as much as we want to say it's like, oh, it's just an older generation, I actually feel like there's girls that are like that now too, where like there's girls our age that feel like, oh, they need to say things, or there's girls our age that feel like they need to, like, they, you know, if they see you somewhere, or if you're dressed a different way, or if you are posting your life on social media, they just feel like they need to comment on it, they need to say something about it, they need to talk shit about you behind your back. I don't get that. I don't have that time.
Adding on to that,
yeah,
one, we talked about how we end up becoming like our moms.
Yeah.
So all of these girls in our generation who are like this, it's past behavior.
The apple doesn't fall far,
right?
Let's be
It's
real.
passed down.
Yeah.
Two, ever since social media has blown up, people feel like they can say anything they want behind a screen.
Oh, for sure.
Because that protection
Keyboard
is
warriors.
theirs.
Yeah.
Right?
I hate that.
And so I think that's just an added layer for more of that.
Yeah.
And more of the auntie toxicity to come through.
It is. And there's so, it's like the aunties are a different generation. Like, they are not, I don't know if they're the keyboard warriors.
No.
It's our gen.
It is.
You know? And it's like the new gen. And it's so sad because like there's also those like gossip forums that a lot of people talk about where like people will literally go on these forums just to talk shit. Like, you just go there and you annihilate somebody and it's like, did my job for the day. And it's just like, find something else to do with your time. I, honest to God, have always felt like people like that, they are so unhappy in their life.
They are.
Like, they really are. You know what I mean? Like, they're super unhappy. They look at social media as like, every single person they look at is like, oh, this person has a really perfect life. This person, do you know how many times, Aruj, people have messaged me and have said things to me like, wow, you lived the perfect life. And I want to laugh so hard in their face. And I always send them that response back. And I say, please never think that about my life. My life is a mess half the time. Like, everyone's life is messy. We don't share the mess because it's not pretty to look at. But like, believe me, it's not what you think. Like, take it out of your head. It's never like that. But for you to even, okay, it's one thing you think that, but then the other thing for you to actually go out and like spread hate and like talk shit about people thinking it's not going to come back at you, believe me, it'll come back at you tenfold. Like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting behavior. It's going to happen with our kids. I do feel like it gives us an opportunity to, if we can build that confidence, to advocate for our kids. Because I know when an auntie would say something to my mom would be like, is that something that you did? Whereas it should have been like, okay, let me go talk to my daughter. I'll talk to my daughter about it. And then get it clarified, because I'm not doing my child bestie in front of somebody else. It's not happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening. You can say what you want to say to me about my child, but at the end of the day, I'm going to have my child's back no matter what. You know, and I think that's something that we have to like really be good at moving forward, because we have to be our kids' biggest support system. They have to know that like their mom and dad, uncles, aunts, whoever have their back, you know?
I get that. I get that.
Yeah. This episode went on for a while, but it was a good topic.
It was a good topic.
It's a really good topic.
Also, it's like never ending, because I feel like we didn't even share any real stories.
Yeah.
They'll come back.
I'm sure there will be a part 2, okay? A part 2 to this
We
topic.
have to make a part 2.
We have to. There's too much to say.
There's too much to say.
There's too much to say. I also feel like there's a lot of people that have not shared things. And I think if you guys have the opportunity, please share it on our IG. You can DM us. You can put it in the comment section. We always say this, everything's anonymous. So feel free to share. If anything, it's kind of like a, what do you call those? Like a circle of
Circle of trust.
circle of trust. Yes. Thanks for filling that in for me. I was blanking there. Blanking. Yeah.
And also, guys, remember to like, subscribe, share, follow.
Please.
All of our pages were on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And we would really appreciate all the support. And if you like anything from anything that we've said, it's just a button.
Yes.
Just a little
Support
bit.
your girls. Support your girls.
Support your girls.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.